Hi everyone, welcome to Intuitive Tuesday. Thank you for joining us again today, and I hope all of you are still staying safe and sane during the lockdown and these challenging times. I just want to remind you that if you have missed any of the previous Intuitive Tuesday readings, the METAVarsity meditations or Workbook Wednesday sessions, you can find them here on YouTube. Just press the subscribe button or go to MetaVarsity's Facebook page and just scroll down for the links. For today's session, I'm going to change things up a bit. Instead of working with the tarot or oracle card deck, I'm going to be working with a card deck that contains affirmations. Gabrielle Bernstein, as some of you might be familiar with her, or have seen some of the videos on YouTube, she released this beautiful deck a few years ago. It's called Miracles Now, and it contains 62 cards, each with an inspirational affirmation. And what I like about them is that you can either go through the deck and choose one that is specifically aimed at an aspect of self you're working on, or you can lay them out and let your intuition guide you to one that speaks to you and an aspect that spirit feels you might need to pay attention to. So you can pick a card and you can put it up on your refrigerator, on your mirror, on your car. And during the day, whenever you see it, it reminds you to focus and repeat these affirmations. So for today's reading, I was drawn to 6 specific affirmations and did a meditation on each one to see what information came through that might be of relevance to you and what you're dealing with at the moment. So whichever affirmation you are drawn to, there is a short general message attached to it, and you can write the affirmation down or memorize it to work with this week if you want to. But let's get to the readings. You will see that there are 6 cards, and you can take a moment just to breathe and clear your mind and see which card and number you are drawn to. Once you have your number, continue listening or skip to the specific number you chose. It's totally up to you. Let's begin. Card number 1. The affirmation you were drawn to is, when I respect my money respects me. The message for you today is to contemplate and think about your relationship with money. How do you treat money? Do you care for and consider carefully before you spend it? Or do you just spend it mindlessly without considering how much you have left or the worth of the thing or object that you're buying? Keep in mind that just like everything else, money is energy, and how you think about it and the belief systems you have regarding it has a profound influence on it and will determine the role it plays in your life. If you have a mindset that you will never have enough money to do and accomplish the things you want to, you never will, because that is the message you are sending out to the universe. If you believe that we live in an abundant universe where there is enough for everyone and that you deserve some of that, you are aligning and opening yourself up to that energetic frequency, which will make it easier for you to attract money into your life. So really take the time to think about your relationship with money. Are you treating it with respect? Are you saving up, using it responsibly and mindfully? Do you believe that it is a tool and just that to do and achieve the things you want to? After all, money is just an object or an energy and is neutral. Whether you assign a positive or negative connotation to it is up to you. When you treat it with respect, it will respect you and reward you with abundance. So blessings be upon you, number 1. Card number 2. The affirmation meant for you today is, I am not the victim, I am the lighthouse. Oftentimes we find ourselves in situations where we feel wronged by other people or feel that life is unfair. We feel hopeless, frustrated, and oftentimes sorry for ourselves. These feelings are totally normal and part of being human. But you are reminded today that being a victim is a state of mind. Yes, you might have been seriously harmed by another human being, might even be a victim of a serious crime, or life has been kicking you while you're down. But you don't have to stay in that position. You are in charge of your own life. You have the power, whether you realize it at this stage or not, to pick yourself up and to move on with life. If you keep telling yourself that you are a victim, you will forever stay one. So you need to change the narrative in your head. Change the story you are telling yourself. This does not mean that you are avoiding or suppressing what happened to you. It's just that instead of focusing on that, keep telling and reminding yourself how you got back up, how you empowered yourself and stepped out of the role of victim and into the role of survivor. What did that experience teach you? What lessons did you learn? How can you use that to not only empower yourself, but also others who might find themselves in similar situations? Once you step into this empowered role, you can serve as a lighthouse, attracting others who might need your guidance or just an understanding ear. You are not a victim. You are a lighthouse, shining your light for the world to see. Blessings be upon you, number 2. Card number 3. The affirmation you were drawn to is, I let my intimate relationships be my greatest learning device for spiritual growth and healing. What an appropriate affirmation at this time, while we are all in lockdown with our loved ones. You might have found these last couple of weeks very challenging in dealing with your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, your in-laws, or whoever you are sharing a living space with. They might have angered, upset, irritated, or deeply hurt you. There might be some characteristics of that individual that you really don't like. Well, if that is the case, you need to do some soul searching and really ask some tough questions. Other people, especially those closest to us, serves as mirrors, giving us insight into ourselves. If there is something about someone else that bothers or irritates you, it is actually not about them. Their behavior or that characteristic triggered you. And we only get triggered by things that poke at aspects of ourselves that we have not yet worked on or integrated. For example, say you are upset that your partner doesn't help you with the daily chores and you have to do everything yourself while he or she just sits in front of a television relaxing. Firstly, you have to become aware of what you're feeling. Angry, unappreciated, disrespected. Those are all valid emotions. But keep in mind that our emotions serves as a compass to deeper issues or beliefs in our subconscious. So you have to ask yourself, how did I get in this situation? Why am I allowing this other person to maybe take advantage of me in this way? Why haven't I set up clear boundaries or communicated more clearly what I need from this relationship? How am I disrespecting or not appreciating myself? Does my partner sitting in front of a television, relaxing, perhaps remind me of someone else, like my father, mother, a sibling, a friend, or someone that I have unresolved issues with? This process is not about taking the blame for the situation. It's using the situation and the triggers it's creating to learn more about yourself and to become aware of things you might have overlooked in the past. Your partner has their own issues and role to play and things to deal with in the scenario. But this is not about them. This is about you. Accepting the negative emotions that arises and using them for your own spiritual growth and healing. This is no easy task, but well worth it in the end. Blessings be upon you, number 3. Card number 4. Your affirmation is, I don't need to find my purpose will find me. As soon as we start contemplating about life and death, one of the questions that always arises is, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do with my life? And so we spend so much time and energy trying to figure this out. At times, even overthinking and coming to answers we pursue just to realize that it wasn't meant to be after all. The message for you today is to stop looking for your purpose. You are alive for a reason. You are on earth for a reason. Your existence is not an accident. We tend to think that our purpose in life has to be the seemingly big and noteworthy thing. But the truth is, by just breathing and being yourself and existing, you are already serving a purpose. You are having an impact on so many people by simply being alive. We are all connected in different ways, but we can't even begin to comprehend. For example, and it's just like a small example, but say you're in the grocery store and you can see the lady behind the till is having a tough day. You just being there, smiling, maybe saying a simple, encouraging, supportive or kind word can have a profound effect on her. That ripples out to her son when she gets home. And when he goes to school, he spreads that energy to his friends, who then pays it forward to their parents, and so forth. Simple acts of kindness at the right time and place can make a big difference in multiple people's lives. And in that moment, you served your purpose without even realizing it. If there is something you need to do or accomplish in your life, the universe will manipulate circumstances and send people your way to nudge you in that direction. Go about your daily life, doing things you like and love and enjoy, spending time with friends and family, and when the time is right, things will start to fall in place for you. Be open. Don't limit yourself and your opportunities by having a fixed idea about how things should be and should happen. There is a greater plan for you that you can't comprehend at this time. Just trust that the universe will push you in the right direction at the right time. Blessings be upon you, number 4. Card number 5. Your affirmation is, sometimes no is the most loving response. Saying no to something or someone is one of the things that a lot of people struggle with. Even on the rare occasion when we do build up the courage to say no, we feel guilty about it and feel like we need to explain and defend ourselves. But to understand this, we need to look at the reasons why we feel pressure to say yes so often, even when we really don't want to. Take a moment to ask yourself, why is this? Do I say yes because I worry that I might look bad or selfish? Or I worry about what other people think of me? Am I saying yes because it makes me feel helpful or needed? Or it makes me feel like I'm a good person? You are asked to really dig deep and be honest with yourself regarding the reason why you say yes so often. If you're saying that you really just want to help others and don't expect anything in return, that's all good and well. Just make sure that you're not trying to play the rescuer. As human beings, it is in our nature to want to help others, especially if it is people we love and care about. But you were also asked to really look at the concept of help from a higher perspective. Sometimes saying yes and helping isn't really helping at all. For example, say you have a family member or a close friend that are experiencing financial problems, and this person often comes to you for financial help, and you keep giving them money because you really care about them and you don't want to see them suffer. Now, the question is, what if that person has some major financial karma that they need to deal with? And learning how to work with money and adapting to a lower living standard are some of the karmic lessons that they need to learn in this life. Although well intended, your constant financial support might prevent them from facing that karma and learning these lessons so that they can grow and develop spiritually. Even though they wouldn't understand or might get upset and hurt, your no might be the most loving response and the best way that you can help them. Does this mean you should not help others? Of course not. The message is that you should become more aware of why you are so eager to say yes, and when you are in the situations where you need to make a choice, always look from a higher perspective and take spiritual factors into consideration as well. And if you do say no, there is no need to feel guilty. If the people asking you for help love and care about you, they will accept and understand your position. Blessings be upon you, number 5. Card number 6. The affirmation you need to hear today is, when I honor my feelings, I find my power in powerless situations. For those of you who have been on the spiritual path for a while now, will know that there are quite a few spiritual teachers that will tell you to focus on the positive aspects of life and to just keep thinking positive thoughts in order to stay on a high frequency. The message coming through for you today is to ignore these notions. You incarnated on earth to have a human experience. Being a human means that you experience both positive and negative thoughts and emotions. And to be asked to avoid negativity completely is to be asked to have a limited human experience. Our negative emotions is one, if not the most important tool we have for spiritual growth and development. These feelings are like alarm systems going off, trying to catch your attention and point to aspects of yourself that need healing, compassion, and love. Through honoring your feelings, all of them, good and bad, positive and negative, you take control and find your power no matter what challenge you are faced with. If you find yourself in a situation that is causing emotional distress, you can take back your power by noticing, accepting, and investigating the origin of your emotions. Once you realize the value of these negative emotions, it will change the way you look and experience them in the future. Blessings be upon you, number 6. Thank you for listening, everyone. Stay safe and have a good week. Goodbye.